What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of What If Civilization Started Over. In this episode, we're going to see a few things. Now, I do realize that my colors suck for this map, so I'm going to possibly be changing up some colors in streams and in this video. So let me know if you want to change a color of a country just to make it look better, because I do realize I suck with colors, but just let me know in the comments down below. First thing we see, because of the sort of civil unrest with the massive buildup of military and the just general thought that the pink team or the French team down here won't be able to protect them from the pink team or their neighbors up here, which I did recolor this one right over here. So yay. Um but just that general thought that they can't be protected throws them into a bloody civil war. So what we see here is this rebellion forming out of the lands that want to unite with this blue Iberian country. Then we see a sort of dictator over here just rising to power and just being a very militaristic general. Now these generals are going to get a few ideas, so we're going to see a few more generals compete for power. With this, we do see the Blue Iberian rebels, the Seafoam rebels, and this new, I guess, yellow country, um, just fully be like, hey, yeah, we just defeated the French government. What are we gonna do? And the first thing they think is war. So the Seafoams are going to go to war with the yellows, and the Seafoam country is just going to be generally winning due to a better militaristic dictator that wants to take charge in this country. But they're going to go to war. The Seafoam country sort of takes over, and they're going to be making a peace treaty. So here we see the collapse of the French team due to its instability, and this little region right here is just going to be disputed between the Seafoam and Iberians for quite a while, and that's going to lead to a small little conflict with Iberians getting pushed into by the Seafoam French dictator, and they're going to draft up a peace treaty. This is what we see for the French country and the Iberians coming together to make this border. And the Iberians are going to be gaining land, but they ain't going to be gaining any major population bases, mainly around the Pyrenees. But the Iberians are going to be happy with this. And we see a more divided French countries. So I know my viewers are happy. Balkanize the French. Let's go. And we also see a continuation war between the two British countries. Now, these two British countries never had good relations. They're North and West. Or, never mind. Um, they're East and West. But overall, the support for the um East country, yeah, East country is higher than the support for the West country. So the West country quickly falls to the East. Um, and just like that, we see the West country disappearing and the East country takes over. Now, with the East country taking over, they're going to have better relations than they ever had with the Scottish country up here. And they're going to be like, well, we're going to have disputes over Ireland in the future, so let's go ahead and make an Irish country instead of having disputes over it. This Irish country forms, and England and Scotland are happy with each other. So the Hungary's people are just going to start cleansing a lot of these red and blue people, and these red and blue nations are actually a part of other nations. So what we see happening is Hungary just going to war with these guys down here, and they're going to just quickly push on in, and they're just going to snatch the capital, fully annexing them. Now, the Hungarian military, being proven super strong, is going to be like, hey, we got this. But what's really going to happen is their government's dissolved, almost all their people are killed within this invasion, and just seeing that, we're going to see a major change on the ethnic map. with this happening, the other nations are going to get really scared and they're going to form an alliance. Now, this alliance will be the anti-Hungarian defensive pact formed by the Green Albanian country with one goal to defend themselves against Hungary. So this alliance is going to be formed just between the bordering nations between Hungary and the other Balkan nations. And with this, Hungary is going to be more skeptical, but they still are like, all right, well, we got all this power. You can't do nothing. We've been clearing your people like crazy. Clearing, I mean removing people. And this is just showcasing how dark and cruel this world can be. And with how dark and cruel this world will be, they won't do any expansion, but let's get into our land expansion and exploration. With some knowledge of the Hungarian cleansing of people being known about, what we're going to see here on the religious map is going to change a lot, but just to let y'all know, this is the explorations. We're not going to see much expansion this episode, but let's go ahead and get into what happened culturally. So the Germanic religions are going to separate, and the Hungarians are going to be like, well, y'all ain't true to our people. So, as we see with the very common, very scary thing of the Hungarians, they're going to be like, all right, well, we got a little bit of people living in our borders who are part of your new diverge, and they're going to be like, they're not there anymore. And these guys are going to get mad as well get out that their people are getting killed, but the Hungarians are just going to do nothing. They're going to be chill. They're not going to say anything. Everything's going to be misread, and the Hungarians are going to stay around. Sadly, we do see some expansion in the Middle Eastern area, so let's go ahead and cover that. What we see is Arabia being divided by land claims and land claims only, with majority of this land not being inhabitable, and Sudan getting independence. Sudan gets independence. They're a blue country. Right over here. There's so much blue in this area, so I'm gonna change their color, I guess. So what we see here is this Sudanese country right over here, just changing their color because their color sucks. Still sucks, but they're going to make their capital right over here. Right up here. I'll update the capitals and major cities there eventually. But yeah, this is the world map so far. And let's go ahead and do something important again. So I'm just gonna make this gray for demonstration. But what we see happening here is just a massive revolt from just this area in general from the Hungarian Empire. And it's going to look like this. And it's going to have some pieces over here. But the Hungarians are expecting this, and they're quickly trying to assimilate and move people down here. But you won't have a population to rebel if they're no longer living here. And that's what's going through the Hungarians, and they're just ravaging this area. It's the most disgusting atrocity in my history of this series. And these atrocities are going to be right on the border of the Circle team members, and they're going to grow more weary, and they're going to start building up even more. One thing we do is we see a sort of river border dispute between this German country and this French country. So this French country is going to be like, hey Germany, I know we're under the same religion, so I'm just gonna bing boom bop bam. And due to just the general border disputes, the Germans don't even realize. So they make a peace treaty with literally nobody, and they annex a few lands over here. And the Germans are like, no, you didn't. And they're going to try pushing into their lands again. And these guys are going to push back. And these guys just are like, we just want to take these lands populations are moving. So we're gonna take these lands, and that they are. Oh, yay, borders are somewhat fixed. Yippee! Border gore people, I hated that too. Just realize I'm going through it too. With some cultures just diverging a lot, we're actually going to see a red team diverge religion, and they're going to diverge like so. I said like so, like so, like that. Now, with them diverging, they're going to take a few areas from other cultures of the, or cultural areas of the red team, like so, but they're mainly going to be in the pink team. Now, with this, the pink team's going to experience some struggles, and these struggles are going to just throw them into a hardship on what to do. They either accept the new culture and embrace it, which they're already trying to do and making steps forward since they're not too different, or they just let them go. And the people who are diverged, they want to be let go. They don't feel the pink team is doing right, so they want to be let go. And they don't like the red team culture because of the blue team. So they're diverging, and they want to. So what we see is just a big old conflict happen up here. It's gonna last a minute, but we will be seeing that in a later episode. The Ottomans, they're not going to do much. They're actually going to side a little bit with the Hungarians. Now, siding with the Hungarians a little bit risky, but they have common interest, so they have that. But just the general cultural diverge is weird. The Hungarians are saying these guys aren't true Germans, and the Germans over here are saying these guys aren't true Germans, and the Germanic culture is just split like crazy. Now, with the culture being split like crazy, we're going to see a lot of conflicts within these nations where we're diverging, and within this nation, Hungarians. I do want to add lots of Lord of the Hungarians. They're like my nation right now. Like, I have a grasp on them. I know what I'm doing. And I want that to be fun for y'all. So any suggestions, let me know, but I have the Hungarians figured out. But please do suggest things in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Because on my last video, I had more comments than likes. How? But anyways, bye. Love you all.